you're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite
Welcome
low.
back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and everyone knows that, at least watches my channel, that so far the housing market price decline or correction has been led by areas heavy in new construction. New construction has been leading price decline across the nation. Existing homes have rebounded in 2023. They have been going down again, but I'm talking, guys, about new construction. New construction prices have been going down since October and are down double digits right now, with inventory showing with Fred at 9.2 months. Reality is, guys, inventory is much more than that because they do not report all of the information to the Census Bureau, to MLS, to Redfin, to Zillow. We really don't know what's going on with new construction. So I believe that as a buyer on the sideline, if I wanted to purchase new construction, and first of all, I'm going to do many inspections, that if I want to get a great deal, it's probably going to be in new construction because they have a buyer's market as far as supply going on right now. But the thing is, guys, I also warn you that purchasing new homes is extremely dangerous because it's not regulated. New home builders are not regulated like normal agents. They are allowed to do things that puts consumers at risk. So this video is going to be about what to do to protect yourself if you are going to purchase a new home. Now, on top of giving you my own experience, I'm also going to review an article from Realtor.com that gives 9 things to watch out for when purchasing new construction. So I'll read that. I'll share with you my own experience. But either way, you guys, I really hope that this allows you to empower yourself and makes you stronger potential home buyers. And please, guys, don't forget to like this video. Shoot me a bonkers below. Please shoot me a bonkers below, and I'd love to hear from you. You guys know I'd love to hear from you. And also, I hope you guys know that I hate asking for you guys to subscribe and like the video. It's something I have to do as a YouTuber, and it's one of the things I hate most. Probably the second thing I hate most. The first thing I hate about being a YouTuber, biggest thing I hate, the titles. I hate coming up with titles. Either way, you guys, the title of this article is 9 Costly Mistakes Buyers Make When Purchasing a New Construction Home. So I'm just going to jump into the 9 things. If you guys want to go back and read a couple of the paragraphs that I skipped through, go ahead. You guys know that I link all of the data in my description so you can form your own opinions. The data's all there. You can look at this for yourself. I hope you guys appreciate that. Now, the number one thing that they're saying is assigning a deal without vetting the builder first. And here's what they say. Not all builders hold themselves to the same standards. As such, buyers need to start their new construction home search by researching the builder's reputation and track record. Look for online reviews, speak with previous buyers if possible, and check if there have been any legal disputes or complaints against the builder. A reputable builder with a history of quality work is a safer choice for your investment. You guys, that is a huge thing, and not a lot of people do it. You need to research your builder, and not only do you need to research the builder, and trust me, the top 3 builders right now, if you look at the reviews, absolute trash, absolute garbage, but they also vary from subdivision to subdivision and community to community. So just because a builder did a good job, say in Miami, doesn't mean that same builder is going to do a good job in Houston, because remember, it's not really the builder building. They're hiring contractor, they're hiring third parties, and trust me, you guys, they're not really vetting them. They themselves need to vet who they have working on their properties. But nevertheless, I think it is 100% vital to do researches online, talk to previous homeowners, because you guys, there are some absolutely tragic stories, and you don't want that to happen to you. Number 2, haggling over the wrong negotiation points. It's like holding the carrot, like, here, look at this. And meanwhile, there's a fire in the background. Hey, look over here, right? Don't look at the fire in the background. It's a little dirty trick that they play. Anyways, this is what this says. Haggling with a builder differs from haggling with a home seller in that builders typically won't bend much on price. However, they will be willing to help buyers save money in other ways, such as through builder incentives, which are not reported on the appraisals. The rate buydowns, which is a seller's concession, is not reported. The rate buydowns are not reported. The values of houses went down more than what's being reported. That's a fact. They are not most of them are not showing those seller concessions. Different builders have different incentives to offer, including mortgage interest rate buydowns and rate locks. With today's interest rates still sky high, these incentives can help lower monthly housing costs and end up being even more valuable to buyers than lower priced houses. So they don't want to touch the price. That's common, but they are having to do that because the incentives aren't working as well as they were mid 2023. New construction buyers should try not to get caught up in today's mortgage rates and instead remember to factor in all of the builder incentives. Many home buyers focus on the purchase price tag too often. What? So realtor.com, you're empowering people, right? You're explaining how real estate works. You're saying that people are paying too much attention to price. Should we not care about how much things cost? I mean, listen to what you're saying, realtor.com. Holy, I'm going to say this right now. I don't think people are paying enough attention to price because of ridiculous comments like that. We need to be hyper focused on price, in my opinion. We've recently seen 40% of builders increasing incentives again and expect this to climb. This should entice more potential home buyers onto the property ladder, restoring some confidence in the market. So they're saying that this is only going to get bigger. The incentives are only going to grow. And honestly, guys, that makes a ton of sense that incentives are only going to get better in 2023 because the inventory and supply that they have for new homes right now is exploded. There's an absolute buyer's market with new homes. But I'm going to say, negotiate the price despite what realtor.com says. Number 3, not factoring in the timeline and potential delays. Before you enter into a contract for a new construction home, you need to consider how long it will take to build a home and make sure that timeline works for you because they will push you guys. If you don't meet certain timelines, these builders will be bullies. And again, they give themselves all the protection in the world, but they don't give you barely no protection. This is not like purchasing a resale home. This is much more dangerous. You must take the time to have a complete understanding of the timeline to complete your home, especially if you are in a lease that will expire or you are selling your current home. That is so important, you guys. Many buyers underestimate the new construction process and the time, money, and effort it takes to alter your moving schedule. If your new home build timeline does end up changing, make sure you understand what can cause delays, and this is huge in Texas, such as bad weather, government permitting issues, and failed inspections, and have a backup plan. And you guys, I see this all the time in real estate. As a loan officer, primarily, I would have realtors bring me their client. They would be buying a new home, and they would basically tell me that the closing date is the same day they're moving out of their apartment, or the closing date is the same closing date as the home that they're selling. The problem with doing those things, guys, is new construction often has delays, especially if they're constructing the house. They are generally never on time. So unless the house is already built, if it's a spec home, and that's what I've been showing you around the nation, then it's really not an issue. But if it's a home that's being built, you guys, I can guarantee you 90% of the time, you're going to have delays. So in other words, what I would do if it's me is I would try to cushion any gap of when I have to leave my rental house or when I'm selling a house. I would leave a little bit of wiggle room there and anticipate the closing taking longer than anticipated. And I would communicate that with either my landlord or the potential buyer of my property. Because if you don't do that and you wait to the last minute and you say the closing is going to be delayed, I'm going to tell you guys right now, that's going to create an overwhelming amount of problems and emotion during the transaction. And you don't want that. The name of the game when it comes to real estate transactions is communication. This is a funny one right here, you guys. And this one really upsets me as well. Number 4, assuming you can call all the shots on what the home looks like. People sometimes think that new construction means custom design from the ground up, but build from scratch is a different type of project. Oftentimes, new construction buyers think they're going to be able to completely customize a new home from the doorknobs, the flooring, the layout, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to chalk that up to a bad agent. You should go in as a buyer understanding what you can and cannot do. And when it comes to new homes, most of the new homes are cookie cut homes and you can't do nothing. But when it comes to custom homes, a lot of times you could customize a lot of it, not all of it. Now, I will say that the sooner you purchase a new home in the process of construction, so the sooner you purchase it while it's under constructed, sometimes the builders will allow you to work with them to customize the house. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, the builders are going to flex. They're going to make excuses. They're going to say they can't do anything that you want, especially if you've already closed. So remember, if you're fighting, if you're negotiating, and if you're customizing, make sure you do those things prior to you closing. Thinking all changes and upgrades are free. When planning your new construction home, if it's early in the process, you might have some opportunity to make upgrades, yet similarly to adding fun extras to a car, they'll cost you. The excitement of planning your dream home can get the best of you, draining your budget before you make it through the door. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there is a gimmick that goes on with these new home builds and the design studio. For example, the builder will say, give me $20,000 and then go to the design studio and customize the work that we do in your home. Or they'll say, we're going to give you $40,000, $50,000 to the design studio as an incentive to purchase. That happened on my very first primary residence that I purchased in California. It was a new build with KB, and they allowed me to go to the design studio to pick out the color of the carpet and all these types of things. The problem with that is, guys, and here's a real issue, usually it's probably double the cost going through the design studio compared to if you did the work through a different company. So understand that the money that you're spending at the design studio, you're not getting dollar for dollar. You're probably getting more like 50 cents on the dollar when you spend or upgrade through the studio. So a lot of times what you could do is you upgrade after you close, because again, generally it will save you a ton of money. Number 6, not inquiring about the community as a whole and related fees. Buyers are often so focused on their own property, they forget to ask about the entire community being built around them. Typically, master plan communities come with plans for plenty of additional infrastructure: schools, grocery stores, healthcare, entertainment. Knowing when these services will be available should be an important factor in your decision making. It goes on, it's important to find out the roads, the landscaping, the parks, and more specifically, you guys, the additional homeowners association fees. Okay, so that's really what I would hone in right there. There are some buyers that I've worked with, not many though, but there are some buyers that, their realtor never even told them that there was an HOA fee. Generally, if you're going to buy a new home, it's in a subdivision. Generally, if it's in a subdivision, it's going to come with an HOA, and the HOA is going to charge you either yearly annual premiums or potentially monthly premiums. A lot of people hate HOAs, but the design of the HOAs is basically to make sure that everyone's property looks nice, okay? So your neighbor can't be working on a car and have car parts all over their grass, right? So that's kind of what an HOA is. So understand that when it comes to new builds, almost every single one is going to have an HOA, and you're going to want to understand how much that costs. And also understand that if you do buy new, depending on the stage, depending on where they're at in the development, you may be living in the middle of a construction zone for 2 years. So you got to think about those things. This is a huge one, you guys, signing the contract without fully reading it. And I'm going to tell you guys right now that 99.99% of people do not read the entire contract, because the entire contract is super confusing, doesn't make sense, and is basically saying the same thing over and over and over again that only attorneys can even understand to begin with. And it's about 80 pages, completely disgusting. And don't forget, you guys, there's an arbitration agreement in the special warranty deed almost all the time. And when entering into a new construction purchase, you will be required to sign a purchase agreement contract. It usually includes a deposit and will outline other elements of the sale with the baseline inclusions and the construction timeline. It is very important to know exactly what you're signing so your expectations and costs stay manageable. That is very important. Most buyers aren't experts in property law, yet contracts are rarely forgiving. Read through the contract carefully, and if something is unclear, don't sign and hope for the best. Let me give you guys a warning based on my own career. I've had several builders, their reps, promise me things verbally, right? So they'll say, okay, verbally, this is what they can do. We'll change this, we'll change that. But when push comes to shove, those same people that gave me an incentive verbally, when push comes to shove, they'll always go back and say, well, it wasn't in the contract, you shouldn't have listened to us. All the time, because they're sales reps, you guys. The people on the top are the ones making the decisions. Almost every time I've got a promise verbally, it's never come to fruition. You must have to, every single time, whatever they're promising you, get in writing, and do not sign something unless you understand it. Now, this one's really, really scary, guys, not bothering with a home inspection. The problem here is most people assume they don't need a home inspection because it's a new house and they want to trust the builder. Most people, again, I would say maybe half of the transactions for new homes, they don't even do a home inspection, you guys. Did you hear me? An overwhelming amount of people don't even do a home inspection for a new build because they assume it's okay when the reality is new home builds right now are absolute trash. Most of them are absolute garbage. You need to know what's underneath the surface, and an inspection helps with that. Many new construction buyers choose not to hire an independent home inspector, but just because the property is new doesn't mean it's perfect. In fact, we probably can assume safely it's 100% not perfect. It's probably complete trash. Also, hire a reputable home inspector, even for new construction homes. They can identify potential issues that may not be visible to the untrained eye and can help you navigate with the builder for necessary repairs. Also, while your lender might not require an inspection, you should get one anyways for peace of mind. Even if there's not a single issue to report, wouldn't you feel better knowing that you're not moving into a ticking time bomb of construction deficits? That's a good one. Number 9, having a home warranty without understanding what it covers. Many new construction builds come with a home warranty to promise to fix anything that breaks with a set period of time, typically a year. So again, and that's pretty standard. The first year they call bumper to bumper. They'll pretty much come in and fix almost anything, but that's only a year, you guys. While this is a nice perk, many home buyers don't make use of it since they simply don't know what it covers or for how long. Warranties are your safeguards against poor construction quality and unforeseen deficits. Different builders will provide different warranties with different timeframes. So make sure you're comfortable with what's on the offer before you sign the dotted line. It is very important to fully understand what the builder warranty covers and what the warranties are for the appliances and the heating and the cooling systems. And you guys, that's a big one. A lot of people assume it's safe to buy new construction because it comes with a warranty, but they never even exercise their warranty. And when they go to make a repair request, it's expired. So one thing that I would say is if you do buy a new home and you do get that 1-year warranty, milk it for everything it's worth. And not only that, do an inspection on the 11th month. Remember, you got that 1-year bumper to bumper, generally the 1-year bumper to bumper for the first year. So if you do a home inspection on month 11, you now have the ability to go back to the warranty company right before that 1 year ends and get all of this stuff repaired. Trust me when I tell you guys, okay? Just do it. Please, just do what I'm saying. It's going to help you. And honestly, you guys, it should help a lot. But I want to give you guys a couple more warnings that the article did not cover. Now, if you're going to walk a new construction development by yourself, make sure to never sign in without your realtor. Do not sign in their company system. There are some new home builders that if you sign in and you don't list a realtor or you don't have a realtor with you, they will not allow you to use a realtor. So don't sign into nothing without your realtor. And I also want to reiterate the arbitration agreement. Maybe not every new home builder does this, but it is a common practice, especially in Texas. When you sign the special warranty deed or the deed to the house, it's going to have a provision in there that requires you to go to arbitration if you have any issues with the builder. So don't think you could just sue the builder. Most attorneys do not want to touch any lawsuits that are against builders because they have to pierce the arbitration agreement that you sign in the special warranty deed. So although we're seeing a meltdown with new homes, we're seeing cracks, we're seeing prices literally plummet, incentives, interest rates in the 4%, make no mistake, it's an especially dangerous process because there is a lack of consumer protection. You don't get the same protections that you do when purchasing existing homes. And then the last thing I'll say, you guys, is if you do buy a new home, be careful about the price cuts because some of the price cuts are real and some of the price cuts are fake. The best way to determine whether or not there's a good deal on the house is by doing a market analysis on the subdivision, or rather looking at what the homes sold for in 2021, 2022, and over the last year. So that's going to conclude this video. I really hope you guys learned a lot and you guys got some new additional value, insights, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck. And I hope you win.